about professional wrestling, past, present, and quite possibly the future. Yeehaw! I don't know why I did that. Joining me once again this illustrious panel of people, because we got people here. We need people to talk about wrestling, unless we get some bots that'll buy up all the goddamn graphics cards and the PlayStations and shit. And I can't get none, but I got one, so I'm good. See, got my controller right here. So we good to go. Gentlemen and lady, how we doing, everybody? How we doing? Game day, ain't it?
Game day.
Go Bucks.
Real salty by showing me a PS5 controller.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I'll put this off camera somewhere where you can't see
it. Knowing I've been on the hunt for one.
Hey man, you been checking at the freaking AFES and goddamn the PX and Exchange?
I've been everywhere.
I've been everywhere, man. So what we got on the agenda today, folks? I know Nick has some thoughts and prayers on his mind and stuff.
I just figured we kind of do a recap of what we talked about last week with the Rumble. If we're all happy or not happy, or mad or not mad.
Well, in regards to the Rumble on the lady side or whatever, let's ask Miss Dominique here or whatever, because last episode we were all unanimous across the board. I think it was like maybe 5 or 6 of us on the podcast, and all of us said Bianca Belair. Were you in agreement with this, or who did you have somebody else pick for the Women's Royal Rumble?
No, I had Bianca.
Word. So see, look,
even though I feel like she should have won last year, but I think they thought it might have been too soon, so that's why they went ahead and did it for this year.
I feel the same way. Last time when we talked about this, I wanted to echo what Sam Roberts was saying when she was down in NXT. Everybody was like, "Oh, Bianca Belair is the best thing since sliced bread," and Sam Roberts was the only one to be like, "Nah, I don't think she's ready. She ain't got that polish." And I agreed with him. Then Mark Henry jumped down his ass and shit, talking about he's gonna beat him up or some shit, like how he do, threaten people with his arm shit. But yeah, I don't think she was ready. And then to think about last year, like how you saying, I don't think she was ready then either. But maybe now might be the time. Did you hear Paul Heyman gas her up on Talking Smack?
Ooh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
Boy, if I was Montez Ford, I would be in the background like, "Hey, man, what's going on, player?" Because he buttered that bread real nice.
Was anyone else watching the Rumble last? I don't know if it's because I was more excited, but man, that like women's match actually took energy out of my body. That by the time the men's match came, I was like, I'm tired.
I highly agree, because I was like, I started getting sleepy after I yelled myself to death, and I was like, okay, damn, I'm good.
Well, especially when it came down to Rhea and Bianca. I don't think anyone thought it was going to be Rhea and Bianca. I thought when you saw that final 3, you're like, oh, well, it's going to be Charlotte and one of them. And then when it was them two, I was like,
my friends are 100 days sweeter.
Paul Heyman was spitting game, man. I want to see a young Paul. I want to see a documentary on young Paul Heyman before he, got entranced in life of professional wrestling and shit. I want to see if he was a player back in high school and shit. Oh, look who we got!
Hey, there he is.
Is that titty meat?
No. Oh, you got the bionic elbow on. See, we the only one with wrestling themed shirts. Can't hear you, homeboy.
There you go. At least I got my DJ brand shirt.
Yeah, put that Dallas shit up.
I'm representing.
Thank you. Take off that Dallas shit.
I can buy it.
Yeah.
I have paper for
That's the word, fine.
vinyl.
Still can't hear you, homeboy.
So I don't have press on.
Yeah, I think he's coming back in. But no, I thought that women's match was great. I thought that was great from start to finish. It was great. Some of the returns, which I remember I was saying I read that Trish was supposed to come back, but there was no Trish.
I don't know. You read that from who?
A pretty verified site that it says shit all the time.
Nah, I think anytime it has anything to do with women, it's gonna be like Trish coming.
Yeah. What do you guys think was the best return for women? Mine was Naomi, but I guess past people. Hey.
Don't mind my sister. I'm glad I had it on mute. Good Lord.
Can y'all hear me now? Can
we can hear your soft and savory voice.
Thank you very much.
I like this. They streaming.
He just has that. He just has that sweet radio voice.
Yes.
All right, now coming up to the stage is Diamond.
Welcome back to WTHZ, playing the classic hits and oldies.
What's going on, everybody?
Why ain't you doing no quiet stations down there?
Oh yeah, come on in for the quiet storm. Play sexy time music. Oh yeah.
Oh, y'all should have been on Call of Duty.
You got the music.
Y'all should have heard us on Call of Duty when we're sitting there and Rob started singing "My Body" by LSG.
Oh Lord, that was funny.
That was hilarious.
That was funny.
I couldn't help it. I was feeling it. It was flowing through my body, all over your body.
What was the other song? We went through a couple songs. That's crazy.
Man, I don't know. I was just going. It was going through me. I didn't know what was taking over my body at the time.
The music was just hitting us.
But Victoria, to answer your question,
Mr. Bryant.
Victoria was mine. I seen her. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So what is the question?
Favorite return from the women's rumble?
Victoria.
Obviously, you were here last week, so we all were obviously happy Bianca won.
But you know what? It was nice to see Jillian Hall again.
That was
Billy
hilarious.
and Jilly.
Billy and Jilly.
Oh, we popped so hard when we saw Jillian Hall.
Can we just unanimously say that Billy Kay was the MVP of the Rumble?
Yeah, I can say that.
She was great. She was great.
She was good. She was good.
She was great.
She was greatness. That's my Billy. But yeah, no, Victoria was my favorite overall when she came back because, as Carl knows, Victoria is one of my favorites of all time.
Oh yeah.
It's close, Brian. You know what I'm talking about.
I know, but yeah, I'm happily taken. So
I like how she matched Peyton on the Widow's Peak.
Yeah, that's the exact point I was gonna bring up or whatever. I was like, wait a minute, Peyton does her move, and then they did it, and I was like, oh, nostalgia.
Exactly.
I remember Victoria's theme, but didn't she have like an even cooler, like rock star theme back in the day too, though?
She had the all the things you said song.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish she would have came out
my
with
tattoo.
That one. I liked that one. I
Copyrights,
liked that one. Yeah. Sadly.
I would like.
I want to agree with him that I had both of the winning picks as well.
You did.
Yeah.
I just want to know how your Alice the Black pick worked out.
Hey, get out of here! Hey, go the fuck home, man.
Hey, man, I thought at least he was going to make an appearance. I thought he was going to at least make an appearance.
Yeah.
Hey, man, he might be standing in solidarity with his old lady, man. They might be like, because they usually do like that with couples or whatever. One of them leave, then the other one kind of fade off on TV and everything. And I don't know.
Still on TV, but then she went through a table for 10 weeks in a row. So.
Yeah, they either get punished or they disappear.
She did get her justification by eliminating Nia.
That is also true.
Which you said. You said that.
She get opportunity for the titles after she doesn't get beat up for all this time.
Yeah.
I want to see her and Naomi win them.
To me, I think she's still injured to an extent because if you would have looked at her right knee, the way that she was walking down the ramp, it was still kind of like you could tell it was still swollen to some extent. Like she was trying not to put too much weight on it. But you just trying to be out there, and I'm like, this girl finna get hurt all over again.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe she's just that good of an actor.
Oh, dear. Okay.
I mean, I've seen some
Rob, how big did you pop when Naomi came out?
Boy, I mean, I had to put a blanket over my lap, but that's how big I popped. I was like, oh shit!
We all know Rod's a big Naomi fan.
Oh yeah, man. That skirt came out there. I was like, whoa, this is cool. Then she pulled the skirt off, and I was like, whoa, that's even better. I was like, yeah.
Horns.
That match did start off with a lot of cake.
Were you surprised they
so much cake?
Were you surprised that they had Edge and Belair both have low numbers? Or no?
Didn't think about that.
Well, I think for Edge or whatever, even if he didn't win, they wanted him to have that longest run time or whatever. Some kind of accolade to put up under his belt, even if he don't win the title for whoever he challenged or whatnot. Just have something.
I knew he was gonna win when he came out at number 1. So I was like, that's gonna rewrite Benoit right there.
Yeah, that's
what I said the same thing.
They did such a bad job. Edge just couldn't wait to be in the Rumble, so he came out first. So what happened? Him and Randy Orton pushed each other in Gorilla, and Edge said, "No, I'm going out first."
That's exactly what I said. The moment I realized Edge was coming out number 1, I'm like, wait, I thought he was number 2. As soon as I saw him come out as number 1, I was like, all right, he's winning this thing. Like, legitimately thought he was winning.
Yeah, they're gonna have him go the distance.
But it was good. I mean, I believe that might have been the planned switch last minute. Be like, let's do that thing real quick, and just nobody cared though. I didn't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, there's only before Edge, there was 2 people who've done it. Shawn Michaels being one of them.
And this is another thing too. Is just like, what if he did come out at number 2? I mean, it would have been the same time anyway, unless they start the clock when you make your entrance.
But yeah, you know what though? I'm telling you, it's because of that by the numbers video. Every time they do it, only 2 people have won at number 1, including WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels. Now they can throw it into that.
Yeah. They replaced a Canadian with another Canadian.
True.
Yeah, you notice it's just been nothing but Canadians that haven't done that. Well, no, Shawn Michaels did it.
Yeah.
He might be Canadian.
No.
What
Texas all the way. Don't disrespect our Texas.
Don't you take her Texas people.
All right. Well, the whole of Shawn Michaels is Texas, but his wandering eye is Canadian.
Oh, no, that's Texas all the way. Some of them, they eyesight ain't all the way
the
down.
whole of Shawn Michaels is Texas, but the bald spot is Canadian.
Texas.
All right. I tried to compliment.
I love Texas. So.
Nah, that's all Texas right there. San Antonio, Texas. Not Houston, San Antonio, yes. You go out there on the Riverwalk and you like, God damn. Ooh.
I will say San Antonio is a beautiful place. I had a chance to stay there for a couple of days when I was a truck driver, so very beautiful place.
I worked there for 2 weeks straight. So I went to the Riverwalk. I went and ate at Joe's, not at Joe's, was that Dick's Last Resort?
Oh yeah. But it's closed down. It's closed down now because of the pandemic. So I was mad the last time I went.
Yeah, man, you just can't have no dicks running wild during the pandemic and whatnot.
Not at all. Not a dick to be found.
Oh shit. But yeah, I mean, Edge. I like what they're doing. They kind of did the same thing with Charlotte anyway. They're just kind of rehashing it this year with Edge. She went to brand challenging, putting the hint in at which one she was going to challenge for the title, NXT, WWE Heavyweight, and the Universal title. I think it's kind of bullshit that they only make NXT relevant for occasional things instead of daggone all the goddamn time.
True.
Yeah.
There are rumors though that the NXT title will be defended at Mania this year.
It should be.
Whether it's Edge or not, the title should be defended. I agree with that.
It should.
Especially
they're not going to take it. They're not going to have a takeover.
If it is happening, you got.
Yeah.
You got to think if they're doing it.
They should all cross brand promote for at least the big 4 pay-per-views: Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam. They should all,
even if it's just NXT men's and women's.
takeovers back then were so successful that it was one of those like if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. You got to think though, if they defend the NXT title at Mania, you got to assume it's going to be Balor and Cross, right?
I would assume so, especially with Cross's entrance. Like, it's such a theatrical entrance that it has to be like WrestleMania is a perfect stage for that. And it's the same thing with Balor, because we all know as much as he's going with the Prince gimmick right now, the Demon is still like the over the top entrance for the guy. So it could give him a reason to bring the Demon entrance back.
And we have not had that at WrestleMania yet.
True.
Yeah, we had 35.
Yeah, we did.
No, he wasn't there
one time. Yep.
Was he? No, 35. He did.
Rob,
he
when
came
he
back the
fought
day
last
after.
year.
Remember?
No,
Was
No,
it?
that was at that was there.
no, 35.
35.
Really?
Yeah, 35. He did the Demon against Bobby Lashley.
Yep.
Really? Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Was that?
Rob,
WrestleMania?
yeah,
I was
Rob,
there.
Looked like a squash
You were
match.
there.
yeah, we were there.
I was
We were
there. You sure?
I'm trying to.
Yes, I got videos on.
Yeah,
my
do that.
phone.
Do that. There you go. For
Yeah,
me, it's like
I don't
this.
know. My
I had
mind
to like
wiped
get
it.
it right to the camera and then
My mind wiped that shit. You know how I feel about Finn Balor.
Yeah. I think if they do it too, they might have Balor win and Cross come back the next night at Mania, at Raw or something.
True. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But what about Bad Bunny?
he almost broke his damn ankle. That was funny. It was. He did better than Snoop. But he almost broke his damn ankle.
First off, he didn't get as high as Snoop.
That's because
Well,
Snoop's taller.
He fell far. He
You
fell
don't get
far.
it. You don't get it, dude.
Snoop
He
is
didn't get as
long. He
high.
don't count.
I got you.
Snoop just went forward.
Snoop
I'm telling
fell
you, I
with
really
grace.
think they're gonna do Damian. They're gonna do Damian Priest and Bad Bunny against them two at Mania. It's gonna happen,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that'll be my bathroom break.
and I'm all for it.
But this the thing though. So we have if they did that, Miz, Morrison, Priest, Bad Bunny. Where does this put the Miz with the briefcase?
It's just there.
It's just there.
I mean,
Pretty much.
to me, it's like it's going to remind me of what happened with Rollins at I think it was 31, where he jobbed out in the beginning of the night to Randy Orton, and then later on in the night tried to come in and cash in and successfully won the title. So maybe that's a spark for the Miz. Like he eats an L day one against Bad Bunny, but then day two he comes in and cashes in on whoever is the world champion at the time. So it could be something like that.
See, I think they're gonna go the Edge route. I think he's gonna try because it's very. I think we can all agree it's gonna be Edge versus Roman. So they're probably gonna do the WWE Championship, either contender or probably WWE title match in the Chamber, and they'll probably have him do a fail cash in against Drew. That's what I think. At the end of the night.
See, my thing is, and it's funny because we were Carl came over yesterday and we were watching Talking Smack, and they were literally building it to the point where Adam Pearce is going to get fired because he hasn't announced what's going on with Elimination Chamber yet. And Elimination Chamber, as much as it's not like a great pay-per-view to some people, it's a very important stop on the way to WrestleMania because it determines who's the number one contender for whatever said title is available that the main event or the Royal Rumble winner doesn't choose.
Or even to the effect of it might change who's in the main event of WrestleMania if they go that way.
Exactly. So you know what I mean? So it's very important to whoever gets that opportunity. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
And you got to think because I think Rob was there. Elimination Chamber 2019 that set Kofi Mania off even more, and the women's tag titles were defended in that.
True.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like it depends. They really have to figure out what they're going to do at the Chamber.
Yeah, and everything is on like the 21st or something. February 21st is the Elimination Chamber. The one after March 21st is the next pay-per-view, and then
Fastlane.
the 10th and the 11th. They all got ones.
They're doing a pay-per-view. Yeah, they're doing a pay-per-view 3 weeks before Mania with Fastlane. I don't like that personally. I could see if you honestly did a Saudi show because not much will change, but
who show?
I think that deal is probably dead in the water.
Shit.
You mean the blood money? Okay.
I think they're done with that though. I think they weaseled their way out of that one.
COVID could have been the best thing before it.
I think it's just on hold for the pandemic.
Well, just a good question right here. Does the briefcase carry over to NXT? I mean, I would imagine so if the Royal Rumble winner can challenge the NXT title holder. So, I mean, I think the briefcase would be valid down in NXT as well, which I would like to see that happen. That would be some good shit.
I'm actually for that too.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's something
so
different.
Who do you?
And then that'd be another thing too.
So the real thing is,
it said indie champion, right? I want to see motherfucker challenge Intercontinental champion, US champion or some shit, just because, you know.
They would. I mean,
I know they wouldn't do that.
Cruiserweight champion.
If you got that, you gotta aim high. You gotta aim high with.
Well, no, but if you got sound logic behind it, you can be a veteran like Edge and be like, well, I never had this title or this title, so I want that title, you know?
Good point.
So who do you guys honestly think is going to challenge Drew at Mania?
Honestly, why not have the Miz? Like, he's already got the briefcase. If there's no real contender for the title, why not give Miz the shot? Because think of it like this, right? Who is a credible contender on Monday Night Raw aside from Sheamus right now?
Credible? No one. Brock.
So hence the briefcase. The briefcase is your shot. The briefcase is your golden ticket. You can call your shot whenever you want. Why not have Miz just say, you know something? Screw it. There's no real contender. There's nobody going anywhere. I'm officially cashing in at WrestleMania against Drew McIntyre and get a main event spot. Why not do something like that?
Yeah, and that's very Miz-like as well. He's like, I am Mr. WrestleMania. I am the main event. So there it is.
But he always like to wait till people get the shit beat out of them and then try to come out there and cash in.
That's why you have Morrison as the backup player.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be Keith Lee in a bad way.
I don't know. Like I love Keith Lee. True. You know something? I'm not even mad at that. I actually am all for the Jinder story because everyone's biggest concern with Jinder is Jinder gonna, when that whole rumor about, you know, the ending of the Rumble is going to piss a lot of people off. What if that story was supposed to be Jinder and people got wind of it and were like, oh no, I don't want that. What if Jinder comes back because he's already came back for the India show that they did recently on the network? Why not have a guy like Jinder come back, win the Elimination Chamber, and have him in the main event? That's another possibility. Because like I said, if you really think about it, at WrestleMania, there's not many face versus face world championship matches. You know what I mean?
And
so
honestly, and I heard over like 100 million people watch that India special.
Yeah. India's a huge market.
Honestly, I was cool. I actually liked Jinder. I like Jinder Mahal's title reign personally.
I'm actually a fan of it too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I thought in the beginning, like when he came out with his entrance and everything, I thought it was dope.
One of the best championship entrances in a while.
Mm-hmm. I'm a fan of Jinder. I know my cohort Eddie hates him, number 14, the running joke and all that stuff. But personally, when Jinder won the world title, I thought it was greatness. I was like, yes, I've been waiting for a storyline where a jobber who always loses gets that one shot and actually pulls it off and wins.
And the best part about it during that pay-per-view was JBL. JBL was like, listen, Jinder Mahal is your WWE. Hell has frozen over. Pigs have flown. Like, he was great.
He sold the hell out of that.
Yeah. And did you ever see the Indian announce team calling that match?
Oh yeah, they was flipping out, boy. They was jumping off the table and everything.
Yeah, India number one.
India number one. India number one.
India number one.
Yeah,
I would say this just as to throw a wrench in the plan. Maybe Strowman.
Maybe. Yeah, I could see Strowman
against Drew because of the size, the size of everything and all of that.
Boy, I mean, boy, look how have
what else do they have for him?
I mean, I had so much high hopes for Braun Strowman, and they just.
I still do.
Wash their hands with this guy or whatever, and you know. What is the problem? He could have beat Brock. He could have daggone won the title multiple times already when given the opportunity. I mean, they gave him the Goldberg win, but I mean, shit.
Yeah.
But I don't get it.
They just pulled the trigger too late on him because he should have beaten Brock. He should have beaten Brock that first time at No Mercy. Then he should have beat him at Saudi. Then that should have been him in that main event against Brock, not Roman. Because you can think about it, until pretty much the pandemic, Strowman was actually still very, very over. He had that great. I thought his storyline with Bobby was good. I thought his storyline with Bobby was good.
I can tell you right now what killed Braun Strowman: the unnecessary heel turn when he was Money in the Bank holder. When the whole thing at SummerSlam where he was literally standing ringside. And you can ask Carl. I called that shit weeks before it happened. I said, it's going to be to the point where Strowman's going to have to be out there to save that match. And then Braun Strowman's just standing there. Then all of a sudden, he turns heel and joins up with McIntyre and Ziggler. Like, that right there was a death nail to his character.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, remember that was on Codex a while back. But I don't know what it was. Like, Braun just, like, whenever he was on a stride and he was on a roll, WWE just kept deterring him, and it just made him into a joke. It's like they made him look so bad at times that it's like the fans just stopped caring about the dude.
Well, then, not to
yeah, because if you remember when he came out in that match,
what happened, Carl?
I said, how many times did he get versus Brock too?
Yeah.
but if you remember when he came out for that match when it was Brock and Roman, he got a huge pop.
Yeah, he did. That, like I said, that was the beginning of the end. That was that moment. It was him coming out. Everyone was excited. Then he turned heel, and it was just like, oh, now what?
Imagine how much of a pop he would have got if the match ended with either one of them winning and he cashed in that.
Yeah, but the thing is, he didn't. That's what I mean. It was the death nail. And then he did what most wrestlers don't do, is he called his shot when he was going to cash in. It was like, well, what were you standing outside the ring for this entire match for? It's like, why not just cash in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true what he said.
Yes, Dan, that is 1,000% right.
And 2019 too, when he had that he was tag champs with Seth, but then they faced each other. They kind of dropped the ball with him there too.
Yep. So
it's kind of like that's when the Fiend's still kind of up there, but that's when the Fiend low-key started going downhill when they had him winning titles very early and all that shit.
No, it was, to me, with the Fiend, it was the Goldberg thing. The Goldberg just ruined him. Yeah. It was just like, why do we do this? Yeah. Why do we do this?
Yeah.
I'm curious what they're going to do at Mania with the Fiend and Goldberg. I mean, the Fiend and Orton.
Ooh, I'm like, please don't wish that up. Please.
I don't even want Goldberg at Mania. God, no.
I don't want
There's literally no need for that.
Goldberg's pudgy. He looked a little pudgy.
Hey, man, we had this conversation last time. I was like, what 54, 55-year-old looking like that? I don't talking about pudgy.
But why was he wearing like MMA shorts too?
I don't know.
Was dumb.
That was his paycheck trunks. You know, let me get this shit over with so I can go home.
He was trying to be like Brock.
Brock Lesnar trunks, you mean? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he looked just like Brock.
It's funny. Really quick, me and Carl yesterday we're having a discussion about Goldberg being over, right? And
overrated,
pretty much. And that's pretty much the conversation we had. But like we're sitting there talking about it. I'm just like, dude, it's so funny to me with wrestling fans about how they're like, oh, you guys will shit on one thing, but you'll love something else. It's like, yes, there's a big, big difference. With Goldberg, we know he's only there for the belt and the money. When we talk about Edge just went through an hour-long Rumble, has committed to being a full-time performer on WWE, is now working all three shows, building up all three characters, giving people rubs. And I'm not even going to get into the Sting thing because that's a whole different conversation within itself. But with Goldberg, it's like, Goldberg has been a straight line his entire career. Who's next? Who's next? Like, there's no depth to him. When we talk about Brock Lesnar, I know people shit on Brock because of the part-time deal, but if you go back and watch Brock's early stuff, this guy's doing milk and cookies with Kurt Angle in the back, fucking doing mariachi parties with Eddie Guerrero, doing the Brock party with the boombox and all this other stuff. He's hilarious. Hell, we even talked about Bob Backlund. When Bob Backlund came back in like 92, 93, Carl, did we or did we not talk about this yesterday? He went from the good old boy waving around to a fucking psycho screaming at the camera. Carl, what did he say when he beat Bret Hart for the world title?
I am God.
Like, just screws loose. Screws loose. But, like, I'm sorry, when it comes to Goldberg, yes, I am done with William. I'm done with Goldberg. I'm done with all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah,
Brian got a present.
You got it, big guys, big.
Brian got a surprise, and Brian's surprise was supposed to come on Wednesday, but it actually is coming today. So Brian's very excited, and Brian is speaking in third person.
Yes, Brian is very doing
pocket
good.
dogs.
Huh? No, it's not a pocket dog.
Is a pocket what?
Pocket dogs.
Pocket dog.
Oh,
Y'all never watched the league?
hey man, I don't watch that shit.
Oh,
So you're talking about the other pocket thing.
no. Pocket dog, man. When all else fails, you go in your pocket, you pull out a hot dog.
So wait, what? So do we
I don't know,
honestly
man. I
all
mean,
agree-
I've done that too. You'd be like, "Hey, girl, I got this pocket dog."
That's a trouser snake.
ah,
So wait, do
What
we all
B-Rock
agree that
said
it's
it-
gonna be?
Al Chapman thing to ever be said in Dominique's presence.
I've heard worse.
oh yeah, especially with that guy. Dude be up here doing
Oh, wait,
everything but
so-
professing his love for this girl on there.
Okay, because that goddamn cow will be saying anything and everything.
Mm-hmm. Wait, hold up.
But if they
What's
do an
the-
Edge and Roman, when do you think they're gonna
They're
announce
having
the
a whole
championship?
sidebar in the comments. They're
The
talking about
crowd.
Yeah,
porn
what
and
they talk-
everything.
what- yeah, what are they talking about? Next
They're
thing you know,
talking about,
people-
Some Paige and Wood sex
Xavier
tape. I'm
Woods.
like, wait a minute.
Yeah, the Velveteen situation and Paige and Woods and all them, that sex tape and all that shit they got
With
leaked.
the hot tags.
The
Hot
rant-
tag.
That was a hot tag.
yeah, I like to call it.
Like, here you go. I'll hold it.
That was the most awkward video to watch. Have y'all
That
seen
was so.
that shit?
That was so disturbing. Like all 45 times I watched that video, I still couldn't understand what was going on. Wait, what?
What?
Wait, what video?
Huh? No, nothing. No,
Nothing.
it was research purposes only. That's why I watched it so many
Yeah,
times.
I do a wrestling show, so I had to, it was wrestling related.
Related.
So I had to look it up.
What about Christian coming back though?
That was amazing.
Oh, Captain Charisma.
That was amazing.
Am I the only one that wants an Edge and Christian tag title run in 2021? Am I the only one that wants that?
Nope, I'm with it.
Nah.
I'm with it.
Nope,
I
I'm
want.
with
I
it.
want it.
I wanted the 5-second pose with Riddle.
Yeah.
I was
Hey, you
ready
know-
for it.
And you know what I liked about that whole thing, from what I can remember, is damn everybody that they put over and talked about on their podcast when they had it, they interacted with in the Rumble. So Matt
Oh.
Riddle and all
Yo,
those other
Edge and
people
Christian
and all
are
that stuff.
huge. Edge and Christian are huge Riddle fans.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm also a huge Riddle fan.
Oh, I made a video years ago talking about how good Matt Riddle was. Oh wait, hold on.
there you go.
I want
No,
him to beat Bobby.
Really quick, Gabe, I agree with you. He buried himself.
Yeah,
Velveteen Dream buried himself. He screwed his own career up, and that's on him.
because he was trying to bury himself.
Yep. I agree.
Oh,
With
shit.
young men.
I
Yes.
agree.
We can't confirm or deny, but let's just say Mr.
Hey,
Chapman,
we
my
Child
co-
snake.
Yeah.
hold on really quick. Terrell,
Can we all celebrate
let's just
that
say
Lars is gone?
hold on 1 second. Terrell, let's just say I know, or one of my cohorts on our show knows somebody who had direct contact with one of the people that dealt with Velveteen Dream. So let's just say it's not too alleged. Thank you, baby.
Somebody.
Y'all can-
Hey,
y'all can-
Dina.
Oh, she just went out the door. You guys continue.
Oh.
I'm going to smile real quick. I need a smile today, so go right ahead. Continue.
You got an unboxing.
I do got an unboxing. Y'all commence.
Oh yeah, I've been keeping up on
that guy.
Yeah,
That
come
dude looks like he's gonna be a monster.
on.
We're doing an unboxing. Okay, so I will do an unboxing.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
All right, Brad Pitt.
Really,
Oh,
like,
you ready?
For a sec, just to
Y'all
see
ready
what's
for
in the box.
this?
Yes.
Let's just say that this is something that I'm definitely gonna enjoy using later on. So my baby surprised me and purchased me a.
Oh, that's an Elite controller.
Ooh.
It is a Scuff Elite controller.
Ah, yes.
Ooh.
Yes,
Thank you for joining the club there, homeboy.
Oh, you a Scuffer too?
Well, I got the Elite one, but
This is the Prestige.
same difference.
But yeah,
It's okay, Dina.
We got extra buttons and shit.
yeah, she can't keep a secret to save her life. So yes, I can't wait. I'm gonna be using this bad boy later.
No, and I will contest that, Ms. Dina,
So this is awesome.
because
There you go.
I should do a surprise birthday party for me about 2 years ago. Brian and Dina were totally in on it, and I had no clue.
Well, I'm great at keeping secrets.
Obviously, she kept it.
Yeah. Well, I was letting her know, please don't do that. Oh, speaking of cohorts, Mr. Chapman is in the building, I believe.
Oh Lord.
Hey.
Yeah, we got what's your boy, Baby Brock, popping up on the internet now. Was it with Parker Boudreaux or whatever his name is?
Parker, I think it's like Boudreaux.
Boudreaux.
Shit.
Boudreaux.
That boy big.
Okay.
You think I should know that? You know, being that's a Louisiana type name.
Very. But I don't think he would.
What
they
about
would
Lars
have to-
Sullivan leaving?
We talked about one other thing. Fuck Lars Sullivan. Nobody care about him.
That's why I'm saying I'm happy.
Lars Sullivan is in.
If we actually about to have another roast session on Lars Sullivan, I'm all for it.
Oh, go ahead. Lead the
Just-
charge, sir.
Just leave it this.
You still give him the Nyla Rose treatment?
No. Listen. With Mitch is another one who did it to himself. All right. Mitch did it on his own. And no, I did not watch a single second of any of Mitch's videos. That was not wrestling related. All right. At least the other ones had 3 wrestling people involved in this. Mitch was doing his own thing. I have nothing to give a damn about.
I will say this though. I actually played this clip for Brian on something to wrestle. Even Conrad Thompson got in on this.
We're not talking. It's
We're
Mitch.
talk
Mitch.
about today. Oh, we're gonna do a career retrospect on Lars Sullivan, and he couldn't even finish it without laughing.
Hey, but you know what? When he first started out at NXT, I enjoyed what they presented so far, and I liked this entrance, the whole red light and the shadow thing, and I thought all that shit was cool. With his finish.
Challenge.
Yeah.
He's the one that started the silhouette. There you go.
I loved it. I ain't gonna lie. I loved his entrance. I loved the theme music. I loved the silhouette thing with him. Everything worked. But like I said with Velveteen Dream, his situation, he fucked it up a lot worse. Like Dream is still like what he's going through. That's kind of disgusting. But you know what I'm saying? With Lars, he did it to himself too.
Yep.
So that I'm clear, what did he do? Because I think I've heard what he did, but I'm not 100% sure.
Is Carl frozen over there?
Huh?
Who?
Yeah, called.
No,
Oh, we thought you were frozen.
no,
He is.
Let's just say that. Just leave it this. At one point, like it was basically like an old, like remember back in the day before, like
Forums. Yeah,
the forums and shit, right? On forums, he said that he banged Ronda Rousey when Ronda Rousey showed up in WWE, prior to WWE when they were in like Olympics and blah blah blah. He said he would fuck the shit out of Stephanie McMahon. He said that half of the wrestlers are on steroids. He was talking. He was saying KFC is for poor people. And by the way, KFC is fucking delicious. I don't give a damn who you are, where you're from. Chicken is chicken, fried, seasoned, baked.
Debatable.
Well, but you know what I mean. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's saying it's poor people stuff. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like he pretty much ransacked half of the roster. He was talking shit about Lashley. He was talking shit about a bunch of other people. Then, you know, Mitch debuted on film.
Question. So when you say talk shit, you know, some of the examples you brought up, like I used to fuck Ronda Rousey and all kind of stuff. This was all before he was involved in professional wrestling or Ronda Rousey.
Way before. But it was all dug up.
Okay, so what was bad about that? Because I know people who say shit way worse about certain celebrities and what they would do and what they would have done. And
he also said some
yeah, that's right. It was the racist tweets.
All right, so he said racist stuff. All right, that's
he
different.
did say racist stuff. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
He said a bunch of racist stuff.
If he just said some shit, even
no. Sorry, Rob. But I mean, like when you're working at a company, and you know what I'm saying, like some people will talk shit thinking they will never get to that company, and your stuff ends up getting exposed. So like, just imagine how awkward it's gonna be when you're walking into a meeting. And you got Stephanie McMahon right there, and you talk about how you want to fuck her in the ass and all this other stuff, and that Triple H is a pussy, and you know what I mean, like Bobby Lashley on steroids, and now you got to work with the guy. And it's like, well,
but this is the thing about those comments. I'm just saying, apart from the racist shit, you can't forgive none of that shit. But since it was in the past, I mean, and you wind up working for a company that you slandered or whatever, it's more of a thing like, hey, I was in a weird place then. I was a different person then and shit like that. But, you know, the racist stuff, that's probably what more than likely got them canceled. The porno shit, hey, man, it's personal preference. They got a lot of gay individuals that do shit and whatever. And it's
one of the things that he tried to deny it and all of that.
Oh, he denied it. Okay, fuck this guy.
Yeah, and the other thing was
with it. I tried to daggone play devil's advocate, but fuck that guy.
But the other thing is he was using homophobic slurs.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, dude,
what the fuck?
Hey, like, he's using these terms, making fun of gay people, but homie, you a star in a video.
Whatever.
You had hair.
All right, we don't. All right, we good. Fuck Lars Sullivan.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Velveteen's just a creep.
Yeah.
And that one
can't
hurts.
control his urges.
And that one hurts too, man. It's like, damn, Dream.
Yeah, I was like, man. Yeah, I was upset about that legitimately. I was like, this dude got so much potential and could be doing so many great things, but he can't keep his.
I like because
Thank you, Aaron.
Velveteen has great feuds. Like he can help build great feuds for people. That situation alone just really kind of like dinged it all because I ain't gonna lie, I would look forward to Velveteen matches. I'm waiting for him to come out and see what kind of shit silhouette he gonna pull out with the chicks pushing him out on the couch like, bitch, here I am. You know.
Shout out to Aaron. He said it best. He just checked every box.
Yeah, he did.
He checked all the cancel boxes.
He checked all the cancel boxes.
He did.
It's just, I don't know. Velveteen just.
Hey man, can't keep it in his pants. That's all it is.
Great performer, shitty outside character.
Yeah, I say that about people I work with. I was like, you're a great human being, but you're a shitty employee.
I was the opposite of my boss. My old boss was a great human being, but when it comes to him telling me what to do, it's like, dude, you are horrible at this.
Yes. But shit, man, damn. Sad shit. Anyway.
So on a lighter note, Kofi and Ali are still fighting on Twitter, it seems.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm for it. The only thing that they need to do, and me and Brian and I had discussed this yesterday, we should have just turned the mics on yesterday, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Move that shit to TV.
Yeah. That's something Brian been talking about for the longest.
I say it every week. I'm like stuff like talking smack and stuff like that. And even the storylines. Like I know we've discussed this before, and we actually talked about this on Codex the other day too. Is WWE needs a systematic change, not the cosmetic change. And I say this all the time. A cosmetic change is how Raw appears, how they present the show, blah, blah, blah. No, they need a systematic change. The way they run shit, the way they present certain characters needs to be changed, because until something like that happens, it's going to be the same old shit. Like when I talk about Mustafa Ali and Retribution, the shit they put on Monday nights is horrible. But if you take the storylines that they promote on Twitter or the stuff that they did, the stuff that they've done on like Main Event and stuff like that, or on Raw Talk or Talking Smack, should have been on television. It's like you're showing millions of people on a weekly basis something that doesn't make sense, but everywhere else in the world it makes sense to us. It's like if we're like, even though we're not like the world doesn't revolve around Twitter, even though some people think it does, the stuff that we see on Twitter looks better than the stuff that they're doing on Raw. You know what I mean? Like now it's like we can't quote unquote hand Ali. Hold on, wait. You know Vince ain't gonna let you write your own story. No, true. But at the same time, it's not about letting them write their own story. It's about giving them bullet points and letting them guide their own way. Because trust me,
used to do back in the day.
That's literally what they did back in the day. Instead of letting, he is a promo machine. So I know B-Rob stepped away real quick. But you know what I mean? Like he is a promo machine. He's great at what he says. It's just allowing them to have that somewhat of a bit of a freedom instead of relying on a script that you're forcing them to say stuff. Or let the performers have more input on what stories are being written.
And I think the best example of that, in my opinion, is Roman Reigns. Now think about it. If Roman Reigns, if there was never a global pandemic, Roman Reigns would still become.
I'm just showing Kyle.
If there wasn't a pandemic, Roman Reigns would still have the Shield shit on. He'd still have the same music and all that. It literally took a global pandemic for him to leave WWE and be like, hey, I really need to change my character. And Paul Heyman had to get invested for him to be what he truly could have been for years.
I mean, health concerns aside as well. But I probably would have left too if I already have a leukemia problem and this shit just breaks out. And I'm not trying to put myself at risk. I would leave too. And come back ripped and
and it's just crazy though. Yeah, it's crazy how it's like, because you always hear the wrestlers would talk about like, yo, if you just let Roman be Roman, he'll be great. And then the dude leaves because of health concerns, which I agree, I would have done the same thing. And all that. Then he comes back and gets to be him, and now it's like, you know how many WrestleMania main events he probably would have had that he wouldn't have gotten booed at if he would have just been him.
But you know what's funny though?
He did too while he was out was that he got better. A lot of wrestlers, they take that time off and they just don't even work on it. They don't even work on themselves and all that. Roman took time, even though he even just had a set of twins. He got better, and that's another key. That's another point that a lot of people aren't really acknowledging, that he worked on himself as well. It's
not so much was the ring stuff, because I don't think there was too much of a problem there. He spams a lot of moves, but I mean it fits him. But as far as the thing that he had the issue with was his promo and his talking ability. That's the thing that he greatly improved on. And I believe not so much directly as a result of him, doing that. I think it was because he did the movies and shit. And you pick up tips and tricks from learning that. I mean, Nick can kind of speak to it to whenever they make us go to the instructor academy for the fucking to teach and shit. They give you stuff to add to your arsenal and everything. And I believe he just took what he learned in the acting realm and brought that over to the wrestling realm and whatnot. And it shows. Because he's playing a character right now. And what I like to say is genuinely good people make the better bad guys.
True. And I want to hop on what Dan said right here about his pacing getting so much better. Yes, 1,000% agree. His pacing got better. Because you know what he did? He finally figured out his own psychology.
Yeah.
And I can tell you as somebody who's trained before, right? And Carl, you can attest to this too. When you first started training, right? Did they want you to model your style after somebody?
No.
Okay, because with me, based on my size, and you know how big I am, I'm 6'4", I was over 300 pounds at the time. They wanted me to work like I was Mark Henry. They were like, you would be a great Mark Henry. And I'm like, okay, but I don't want to be a Mark Henry. Like originally when I was training, I was moving like Keith Lee. I was able to do flips. I did a 450 splash once. I will never do it again, but I did it once. I was able to do it. But psychology-wise, after I hit the 450, I was like, holy shit, I'm winded. And my trainer goes to me, he goes, this is why I want you to work a slower pace. When you figure out how to work your style a certain way, it makes more sense. Roman was always, to me, a guy who got very sluggish in the ring. Now, he works that slower pace, and he's able to use the acting ability that he's learning and talking shit. Like, you done fucked up. Like when he was fighting his brother, when he was fighting his cousin, he was slowly beating his ass, and every time he whooped his ass, he started talking shit to him. Same thing with Kevin Owens. Whenever he whoops his ass and he gets that moment, instead of just sitting there doing this, now he learned to talk that shit, get himself a little bit more heat. Roman has improved leaps and bounds in my eyes. And some of you guys know how my opinion was on Roman back in the day. And yes, my khakis were crisp as hell when I was dressed.
I didn't know you acknowledged that.
Kyle always has to bring it up.
Hold on, wait. Brian, my mama's taking offense. She said, don't say shit about her man, Roman Reigns, saying that he can't talk shit like that. I
did.
Taking offense. Okay.
First off, mama, happy birthday. Second of all,
Brian
Happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Yeah, she getting dolled up and sewing at the same time, so it's
okay.
Oh, it sounds like that Soul movie.
Mama finna step out.
We stepping up.
56 years young. Don't say that. But yeah.
So,
Mama
but
Kyle said, hey. She said, hey, Kyle.
So did Dan.
Everyone saying, hey, I love it.
I'll be getting a ton of birthday love today.
I mean, it's everywhere. It's like you picking video calls and everything.
But okay, we looking at the end game, which for this season is a WrestleMania, emanating for the Raymond James Stadium and down there in Florida and whatnot. What do we see being the end result? Will Edge be another world or universal or NXT champion? Or will who fucking Bianca Belair beat Sasha Banks? Because I believe that's where she's leaning. I don't think they're gonna put her with Asuka. I don't think that would be a good pairing. I believe they have the ability to put on a good match, but I don't think that's a good pairing.
Right.
But what are we feeling? Is we picking Edge to gain a championship, or is we picking Bianca to gain a championship, or losing? Either or.
I think both. I think both.
And I think that Edge will use that to put over Keith Lee at SummerSlam.
So you would have to fight Drew then, right?
Yeah.
Word. What you got?
So you think he's going to fight Drew or Roman?
He said Drew because he said he's going to ultimately put over Keith Lee. So he had to do that on Raw.
Well, because that's what I was going to go into, I guess, real quick before we do it. The Edge, because obviously, like Brian said, the Elimination Chamber always sets up a championship match or something like that for Mania. Yeah, unless Drew is defending his title in the Chamber, Edge has to make his decision, obviously, soon. Because if not, that Chamber match is going to be who's going to fight Drew at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like this. I like this down here. First black women only main event.
You know something? It's 2 nights. Why the hell not? Mm-hmm. Why the hell not? Let Bianca get a main event. Her and Sasha main event.
Yeah, it's no doubt in my mind that it's gonna main event night 1. It ain't gonna main event night 2.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, same here. Night 2, I think is gonna be Edge and Roman.
Yeah, and I believe for that fact alone, that's why this specific WrestleMania is 2 nights, because of that fact. Because the other 2 WrestleManias aren't 2 nights.
Really?
Honest to God, and I've been saying this for a while, I'm a fan of the 2-night Mania. I mean, like, in all actuality, why don't the women have 1 night where they main event and then the male winner main events the next night? Why not do that?
Because they have 2 world titles.
Yeah,
that makes the Royal Rumble more special too.
Yeah, that would give the Rumble a little bit more of an effect. I'm all for, personally, like, with all due respect to Drew, he had his WrestleMania moment last year. And when it comes to the well, yeah, kind of. But when it comes to the Edge scenario, I'm more for Edge going against Roman because I don't believe Edge needs a world title. So I would be okay with whoever Drew goes against at Mania is a night 1 thing, but we give the main event to Bianca and Sasha because Sasha deserves it. She's been killing it her entire career. Bianca is a legend in the making. And with all due respect to Drew, he had a phenomenal year, but he doesn't have the caliber of an opponent to be built up against to be a main eventer at WrestleMania right now. With Roman is the main event. As much as people want to disagree, Roman is the main event at WrestleMania. He's the most talked about guy in the company right now.
Yeah, good or bad.
Yeah, good or bad. He deserves that spot. Edge, I don't see him going after Drew as much as I would like to see it. But in my mind, logically, when it comes to WWE, like I said, except for maybe Mania 6 with Terry and Warrior, there's not really many big face versus face main events for WrestleMania. You know what I mean? There's no two guys that are at the top of their game that are both baby faces that people are like, oh, I want to see them two fight. So to me, I feel like Edge is going to pick Roman. And why the hell not give Bianca the main event? Bianca's been killing it. The girl's been on fire since the jump. So I'm all for that. And give Drew the co-main event of night 1.
Yeah.
Question.
And I just think Oh, sorry.
Did Bianca and Asuka ever face at any point in time in NXT? Okay.
I don't think so.
Point taken.
No. So
reason why it would be a good match.
I'd be for that
so
too.
You got to think though with Bianca and them. Think about this, because if both Rumble winners pick SmackDown, which they're probably gonna, which is their most watched show, picture that Friday night SmackDown, literally the night before WrestleMania. And just the build-up with Sasha and Bianca, like, I'm going to see you tomorrow and tomorrow. Realistically, if they're in the Thunderdome, they might record that one earlier in the week, maybe just to be safe because of Mania and all that. But realistic storyline, like Bianca and Sasha could be face-to-face the night before they're fighting in the main event. Kind of like the weigh-ins you see them doing UFC and boxing. Like, that'd be dope.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But is it Mania is in front of a live crowd this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
So I don't think they'd be able to.
That's
film
why
it.
that's what that.
Yeah, recording the Raw or
Friday
SmackDown beforehand, so they can take like the week prior off and shit.
Yeah.
What I wouldn't mind seeing is like a New Japan style tag match. Maybe both of the women's champions tag team against the number 1 contenders or whatever, or
that's always a classic.
Or it could be the vice versa. It can be the champion and their number 1 contender on the same team versus the champion and their number 1 contender. So we can finally get Asuka versus Bianca Belair in some kind of faction.
I'd actually be for that too.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to have a ladder match for one of the titles, like the U.S. or the Intercontinental?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with the United States title and the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania, because we got Big E and Lashley holding the title. And Lashley,
I think if Big E drops it, he'll get the.
You think if Big E drops it, you're going to get a title shot?
His title at Mania? Yeah.
No,
at SummerSlam.
I personally think Big E is going to solidify himself as a solo star at Mania. I think that personally, what I would do, so. and this has always been my thing, because I love this match, and I really wish WWE brings it back. Give me a scramble match at Mania for the IC title. Give me Big E. Give me Apollo Crews, who's been showing out lately.
Sammy.
Give me Sammy. Give me Nakamura, and give me Cesaro. Give me all of those guys in a scramble match. 5 guys, 25 minutes. First 2 guys start off. Every time someone gets pinned, they become IC champion. Whoever's the last guy to hold the belt at the end of the time limit holds the belt.
Yep. 5 guys and fries.
Okay.
See, I love that, but I could see them making that match the ladder match.
Yeah, see that's the other thing too. That's why when you said ladder match, that could be the ladder match to me. Like those 5 guys going for that title.
There's always a ladder match at Mania.
Not always. You said they should always be?
I mean, not always, but a lot of them.
There usually is.
When they used to have Money in the Bank for a wrestler as a WrestleMania tradition, which I really enjoyed every year.
I think the last ladder match they did at Mania was 31, wasn't it?
With Brian?
No, it was last year.
No, they did one last year.
They did?
Oh, the tag titles, yeah.
Oh, all right, yeah.
It was the tag titles, but it was 3 guys. Since,
3 guys and fries.
Yeah, because of COVID. Which that was a great match, by the way. In front of no one, a ladder match. That was a great match. With John Morrison like walking the whole ropes and shit.
I tell you what, though, We talk about the old school PC shows where it was no crowd and it was quiet as fuck. The mic work for New Japan is just like crazy, man. How they mic the ring and shit. You can hear the gear swiping up against the vinyl on the mats and shit. It's just like, and you can just hear the crisp contact and everything, but you never hear them talking unless you wanted them to hear you talking. Props to New Japan.
Props to Monaro chopping people too.
Oh boy.
The chops, I'm like, good Jesus.
Damn, Mr. Suzuki has a forearm out of this fucking world. I don't see how he do that and not really hurt somebody. Because, like, he wind it up, he rub his elbow and just, bow! And then just like, Lord Jesus. Minoru Suzuki, 50-something years old, still kicking ass like he 30-something.
I will say this as a New Japan fan, I always like cry inside when Shibata don't fight, man. That's such a sad career to end so soon. Yeah, he was another one, man. Ooh.
Yeah, I remember the last match I seen with him is I forgot who it was against, but he headbutted the shit out of him and the blood just
started. That's when he got. I think it was Okada. Okada was his last match.
That shit was scary, man. It looked like some grudge shit or whatever. He just like bow, and he just kind of dazed for a little bit.
They haven't spoken on Kenta yet. But speaking of Kenta.
Yeah, that was my workaround to get to AEW New Japan and all that stuff. But yeah, what y'all think about that, man? We officially have some tie with AEW and Impact, AAA, and New Japan.
And
OWE.
It's crazy.
We don't hear shit about them so much no more.
I think it's needed because it kind of, to an extent, some people who are like, okay, we need something else to watch. Now you got shows intertwining, and it's like, okay, that kind of helps boost New Japan because right now they're limited on, people being able to come over and do matches, with all the COVID and all of that stuff. So people who are able to do some stuff like, with Kenta and Moxley, which I personally am waiting to see that. Because I want to see how many kicks, chops, whatever, how aggressive this match is going to be, go down.
Yeah.
Now, for the sake of it, who knows? Maybe somebody flip over and try to challenge Okada. I don't know. Maybe we have.
So now the only.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. I cut you off.
No. I was just saying, just. Like to see how are they gonna work this? Tony is probably gonna throw out some money to people to like, hey, why not come over here, do the whole quarantine thing? We'll get you built up in a storyline and all of that. Flip to this show, you'll do this, challenge somebody and all of that. See if you like it, stay here for a little while. If not, go back to Japan and do whatever over there. We'll have somebody come to you.
Mm-hmm. So my question is
now
my question is New Japan wise. Who is going to be the first big money star to come over and do something?
Bullet Club.
Yeah.
It has to be, right? That's the talk of the town right now, right?
It's written. Like the storyline writes itself. Like even the whole backstage thing with Kenny and Kenta when he goes like, hey, what's up, buddy? He's like, fuck you. It's like, fuck you. Oh, like you, we ain't friends. Like that right there writes itself. Like you already got the American guys, you got 5 of them already here. What's to say Tama and Tonga show up? You got Kenta already over here. You have Fale show up, and then Switchblade. Why not? Because Switchblade ended up going back to Japan. So right there, that sells itself when it comes to, a crossover with New Japan. Eventually, hopefully we see a guy like Okada. And we never really got a chance to see Okada Jericho. So that could be a thing that happens. We got all these young guys. I would love to see Hiromu versus Jungle Boy. You know what I'm saying? Or a Yano. You hate me, Rob.
Talking about Okada.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you got a ton of those dudes over there. Or how about this? Tanahashi versus Jericho. 2 aces, 2 legends in the sport. You know what I'm saying? Those are all matches that we've never got a chance to see that has the possibility of coming over.
I got a question. So what if Tama and Tonga decide, they want to flip over and show up on Impact and challenge the Good Brothers.
I'd be cool with that too.
Yeah. OGBC versus New BC.
Yeah, and it's like I think the connection that New Japan and Impact got lost over the years because of the old management and stuff, and I think they can restart that anew because we forget Sonata went there and did his excursion. Okada went there and did his excursion. I think Tanahashi might have been there for a little while.
Yep, he was there for a while.
New Japan and Impact aren't strangers to each other. I mean, there's definitely avenues for that to happen.
Now let me ask this though. So the only thing I get confused on is
which Japanese guys? Which Japanese guy?
No, but
all y'all looking like
with all these people coming into AEW. I think it's great for them, those companies, because on American TV, they're getting a lot. Do you think in a weird way it hurts AEW because it's like not their talent really, like less talent getting spotlighted though?
Nope.
I will say
the talent
this.
is getting spotlighted and it's still promoting their brand. It's actually it's probably gonna be an AEW show with all the other talent.
True.
I look at it like this. When you look at AEW, the way the shows are ran on a weekly basis, aside from a select few people, you don't see the same roster every week on Dynamite. You'll see a couple guys, but you'll see a story being told, but you don't see the same guys in the ring every week. It's similar to what Impact does. Impact focuses on a certain group of people, and then everything else on the undercard is always intertwined with this storyline or they're building up this one, eventually leading to a match on Impact. And it's kind of what they do with Dynamite. Like, they won't have the match, like the whole thing with Jungle Boy and FTR. You know what I'm saying? Like, they built it up the week before, and you didn't see them for a couple of weeks. But then when they got to the match meant something because the story was already told. So even though, let's say, like the New Japan guys or the Impact guys show up, it's like you could still have your other talent on the show that aren't involved in major storylines, but you can feature the New Japan dudes in one match or one segment and still have them be the talk of the town without underutilizing and undercutting your other talent.
Now, let me throw a wrench in this quick. I know Rob's girl. I think it's everyone's girl in here. What's going on with your girl, Hogan, over there trying to talk shit about Sasha?
Oh, that's always been a thing or whatever. It's just like whenever Kiera like made the switch in hair color, whether Sasha did the same exact thing. So there's always been like some kind of shit about.
I just thought that was funny. She went on a rampage Friday on Twitter.
Yeah.
I know our man Ajar wasn't too happy about that.
No. Ajar is not amused, probably.
He was not. I was seeing his tweets and I was kind of laughing.
But it's like
Sorry. I had to throw that out there. Back to the AEW New Japan stuff. Sorry.
It's exciting though. It's just I've learned about other wrestling because of shit like this, like Fantastic Mania or whatever with New Japan and AAA when they do like their co-event together. That's how I learned about I think Valdemar Jr. and some other. He's the first luchador that I saw personally. That he start the match with his mask on. Then when the match get intense or whatever, you take the mask off. I was like, oh, I like that. It's kind of like Tai Chi with the pants. When the match get crunk, you pull the pants off.
Or Angel Garza for those in America.
Or Angel
Garza.
Dimples. I'll just say
they ain't doing nothing with him.
But I will say this: when it comes to this whole co-working together, my dream is slowly coming to reality, man. I've been saying this for a while. I want a major event with all companies represented, and it's looking like it could happen. Like something big, or like War of the Worlds, or I heard they trademarked Battle of the Belts or something like that.
Yeah,
it's looking more realistic. Like dream matches put aside, you start putting world champions versus world champions and world tag champions versus world tag champions and TNT champions versus Super Junior champions and stuff. It's a dream. It's a dream. And as a wrestling, and I'm not, and I hate the term WWE mark, AEW mark. As a wrestling fan, I cannot be more excited for something like this to happen. And as a fan, it sucks to me because the only company that's not going to be involved in it is WWE.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to see like freaking Taiji Ishimori versus like say Lindsay Dorado or just something random or crazy like that just for the fuck up saying it happened.
Shit, give me Minoru Suzuki and Matt Riddle.
Hell yeah.
I've seen it before. I've seen Kenny, Seth, and Brian in a 3-way.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
I want to see Kota Ibushi versus Brian Cage.
Yeah.
Shit, Kota against Seth. That'd be.
How about this? Give me Moose versus Braun.
Cedric Alexander Part 2.
Yeah. Give me Moose versus Braun Strowman. I would love to see that match.
I don't know.
Only because I want Moose to go over, but you know what I mean. Like,
There'd be a whole bunch of big meaty men slapping meat.
Then you got to throw a Big E in there. Then
how about this? A triple threat match, right? Give me Colt Cabana, give me R-Truth, and give me Yano.
Oh, the world would explode.
That y'all ain't ready for that match. Y'all ain't ready for that.
Would explode.
No. You got to add one more. Make it a fatal 4-way.
Okay.
Nakazawa.
Oh, and Nakazawa. So, you got a comedy guy from each one. Oh man,
that'd be great.
And to top that one off, Santino will be the referee.
Oh shit!
Oh goodness!
Mind blown.
Book it.
Oh man, that'd be oil and turnbuckle pads and.
No. Orange Cassidy is the referee. There you go, Dan. I like that. Throw in Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, that match would never end. He'd
be like,
"You ever won?"
Pockets.
And then somehow he would get involved in the match, and that's when you throw in Santino as the backup referee. There you go.
Or we could do this. What about Santina versus Nyla?
Hey.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Hey, if that ever happened, if that ever
would be
happened,
some backlash, kind of.
Nia,
Would it though?
Nia and Nyla, if that ever happened.
But this is the thing, though. This is things you got to think about. You know how we just kind of, PC'd it for the sake of other people and whatnot. But if the wrestler is fine with it, it's all bets are off.
All bets are off. But Nyla has to go over. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, of course.
That's how I would book it. But you know what I mean? Like it's the possibilities with all four of these companies working together is phenomenal. And as I said, as a wrestling fan, the only thing that makes me sad about it is WWE's not going to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, I am excited as hell to see where the story goes. Kenta showing up was like internet blowing up mode. It's like everybody was talking about it. It was like, fans are excited again. And this is why, like, even right now, and I said this at the very beginning of the pandemic, we are going to miss the hell out of professional wrestling. Even though we watch it every week on television, the first time I go to a show, I know Bully Ray said it on Busted Open, I'm going to shed a tear. I can't wait to go to a fully packed arena and watch anything. I don't give a damn who it is. You know what I'm saying? If it's JCW, I'd be like, "Oh, Marco's sucking a dildo. I can't believe it." Like something like that. Like I'm just happy that as fans, like when we get back to it, we're gonna realize how much we truly missed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the world has finally realized how nasty they fucking are.
Yeah, that too.
Hopefully. Matter of fact, just yesterday, I went to the restroom in Walmart of all places, and dude was leaving from the stall. He ain't even washed his motherfucking hands. He just went right back out into the store like it was cool. I was like, no, bitch.
People just touch things too, especially at your Walmart.
Hey, my Walmart is straight. It's just the alcohol aisle.
Yeah, well, I can't wait for shows to come back.
Oh yeah, is Joey Ryan still fucked up, ain't he?
I mean, he won his case, so yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but who's gonna want to touch that?
I mean, you win your case in regular.
Hey, what about your girl Tessa? Is your girl Brian? Is your girl Tessa ever gonna show up in WWE or what?
I have no idea, man. I don't know what's going on with her.
As far as her, I don't think WWE will be the move for her right now, especially with everything that's going on that we'll be talking about and shit. I think she would probably get a nice chunk of change thrown at her if she went to AEW or somebody surrounding in that group.
I don't know what to say with Tessa. I mean, honestly, the best thing for Tessa, the same thing I'm going to say for Marty. Be happy that no one's talking about you.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately talking about you.
Yeah, but you know, the second they sign up and show somewhere, they'll be talked about again.
Oh, yeah, of course. But eventually, but after a while, it'll be like your talent overshadows it.
So what's the fate?
So one thing I wanted to ask you guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
So one thing I want is with obviously AEW is running shows at a Daily's place. I don't know how many capacity they're doing. What, like 2,000 or 3,000? Is it like very little?
Somewhere around like 2,000.
With WWE with WWE, they're gonna have 20,000, I think, at WrestleMania, which that's crazy. That's a good amount of people. And I guess we'll kind of get a glimpse of that today because the Super Bowl is in Tampa. Now, granted, WWE, they'll have fans on the field, but do you think this puts a lot of pressure on AEW to try to have it because Double or Nothing, we would say, is probably one of their bigger shows, obviously. Do you think they're going to go to Vegas for Double or Nothing? I don't know what's going on in Nevada. I hope they do because I'm only 3 hours away.
They got their own arena.
But do you? So I guess why aren't they having more fans? Unless that is their capacity. That place doesn't look like it's massive, obviously, either. But I wonder because if you remember last year, they had the Stadium Stampede. They have that whole practice football field right there. So you think they might?
That wasn't the practice field. That was the field.
That was the field.
That was the field.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So do you think they might try doing Double or Nothing there? Because you got to think that's a big move by WWE having WrestleMania in front of 20,000 fans.
Well, actually, it's already been done by New Japan, and it's been put on regularly for a while. Now.
No, I agree. But you gotta think that's somewhere else. And obviously, the huge rivalry is AEW WWE rivalry. I say,
yeah.
But you got to think it's kind of like WWE's like, all right, well, we're doing WrestleMania, our biggest show of the year in front of all these people. What's your move?
See, I don't think it's a what your move situation. I feel like AEW has been very smart when it comes to what they're doing. Like, don't get me wrong, Double or Nothing is a big event. All Out is a big event. But we only have had about a year and a half of AEW doing what they're doing. This is why I've been saying for a while, when it comes to a stadium style show, they're saving that for that big show that I've been talking about, like the collaboration with everybody.
Yeah.
When you have the New Japan fans going to be like, all right, well, the people from Japan are going to be able to fly over and, represent their crew. And the people from Mexico will come up and see their crew. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the Impact fans who are going to get off Twitch and show up at the arena.
Yeah.
And then you got AEW score. I'm a Twitch fan too, so I'm not even going to front. But you know what I'm saying? It can be done. But the question is, when do you pull that trigger? Because obviously the Khans own the Jaguars.
Yeah,
that stadium is there. So they don't have to travel to New York or LA or Dallas. They're home built right there in Jacksonville. And I've said it before. I'm like, there's no football in the summertime. What stops them from doing their own stadium show in their own home stadium? But you got to have a card to fill that stadium. A card like that I've been talking about for months now could sell a stadium out. Don't get me wrong. AEW has a great buzz behind it. They're averaging almost 1 million people a week. There's fans and selling out everywhere they go when they were on the road. Yeah. But a card with New Japan, Impact, AAA, AEW, and whoever else they want to work with will sell out a football stadium compared to a Double or Nothing with just their roster on the card.
So
that's just my opinion.
Here's the thing here's the thing I question about that though at AEW when they were selling out crowds. I like AEW, so this is not me crapping on them whatsoever. But like when you guys went to that show in Boston, that wasn't in the Garden. That was in a small. Like I guess I always question. They have, as you said, they're averaging almost 1 million viewers a week. Why don't you think they're in? Because those arenas you guys go to, like the ones in Chicago, wherever, they're not the big ones, but they're not small either. Yeah. Why don't you think when they were on the road, they were in like places like the Garden or that really big one in Chicago?
Because it's year one.
The Toyota Center.
Year one. At that time, they would just.
Yeah, you always start small. Year one.
They were starting small. They didn't want to just.
I guess that makes sense. Because you can't.
What's up?
Look at the Call of Duty group chat.
Oh, very well. Very well. Hey, talking to me, not y'all. Go ahead, finish what you're saying.
Yeah, Carl.
No, he's talking to you.
But
it's more.
But,
it was.
Come on in.
They had to start off small and grow bigger because remember WWE, they can use those arenas. Not to mention they do have contracts as well. So they had more casual. WWE appears more to the casual where. AEW, they have their own fan base and they stick to their own fan base. It's not as big as a casual fan that can fit in, TD Bank. So they settled for again this arena. And
so you don't think they could sell out like the TD Garden in Boston? No, I think they could.
They could, but here's the deal, right?
Yeah, another good point down here as well.
Yep, that is true. That is true with the arenas. But here's what I would say, right? If you're visually presenting a show and you could have a 20,000 seat arena, right? Like, well, how about this? We'll say Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence. We've all been there since, we're from New England. It's about a 15,000 seat arena, not including the floor. Okay. Now, could AEW do an arena the size of Providence? Yes. Will they sell out an arena the size of Providence? In this area, they could, because we live in an area where Boston is about 45 minutes away. The Connecticut line is about an hour away. We can draw those plus the people in Rhode Island, right? But for AEW to go to towns like Chicago
and a heavy wrestling fan base.
Yeah, a very heavy wrestling fan base, right? Even though AEW is not on the same level as a WWE, which is a global phenomenon or whatever, it's smarter for them to sell 10,000 seats in a 10,000 seat arena than to sell 10,000 seats in a 20,000 seat arena.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? For them, it's going to be a better financial gain. Sure. Plus, it's also visually going to look better. Because if you go back in time and watch some of the old Thunders and the old wrestling challenges and stuff, they were in smaller arenas. Even the first year of Raw, they were in smaller arenas. Like, they weren't doing the TD Garden or the Boston Garden. They were doing the Worcester Center. You know what I'm saying? But the Worcester Center was sold out, and it looked like there was a ton of people there. So visually for them, it looks better for them to be at a smaller arena and oversell than it is for them to go to a bigger arena and undersell.
Yeah. And then only reason that you would probably do bigger arenas now, just because of what's going on, and that allows for social distancing and shit like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time,
I got to
think about your rates and shit as well. Because, they're still going to charge you big arena prices and whatnot, and you doing this small little bitty thing. So,
hence why WWE is losing money. Oh, you got to head out?
Yeah, I got to head out. I got to send my goodbyes. I got things to do. But go Tom Brady. Go Tampa Bay. Everyone enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. And everyone, hey.
I'm going to eat taco.
Take care, Nick.
All right, Mike.
You too, guys.
So, with that being said, I know the game is rolling up for some people. I don't really give a fuck, but
5 more hours.
I don't know. Maybe you got shit to do. Maybe you got to go play with your pocket dog or something. I don't know.
I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play with this.
Yeah, but shit.
The caressing sensation.
The question that I did have though before we ride out, where does ROH's role fit into all of this, if it has a role at all? Because they do the Super Card of Honor with New Japan all the time, and there is some tie there, but we haven't really been seeing too much of that lately.
True.
Like I was saying, do you think ROH needs to? They're still in their rebuilding process because they did shut down for quite some time.
Yeah, I guess so. Because they just brought back the Pure title and they're doing some other stuff. So, this is a good. There you go. They can rent some A&C theaters and Regal theaters. For real, man. Because they can put the stage on the thing with the projector at. They can put the ring up there and people can sit in the audience and yeah, hell yeah.
With Ring of Honor, in my opinion, I feel like they're just missing the boat right now.
They feel like that all the time.
And it sucks. As someone who used to go as someone who used to go to the old Ring of Honor shows back when they were on DVD, before they were on HGNet, before they got signed with Sinclair Broadcasting and stuff, Ring of Honor's product is so damn good, even still to this day. Whoever is managing that company is doing them a huge disservice. The fact that they cut ties with Impact years ago, you know what I mean? Like with guys like Homicide couldn't go back and forth, or Red couldn't go back and forth, and AJ and Daniels and stuff. Like, I feel like Ring of Honor has been the most fumbled company business-wise out of all of them. You know, like,
yeah, because for a while they was turning out, you know, a lot of the WWE champions that we have currently. And they were at a point in time, from what I can recollect, the company to be in for one point in time or whatever. I mean, they were kind of outdrawing or outpacing TNA for a little bit, and then shit changed drastically because they tried to stay inclusive. They tried to be just ROH or nothing.
It was the sale of the company. It was when what's his name? I can't remember his name. When the guy sold the company to Sinclair, first he sold it towards HDNet, trying to get the TV deal, and then Sinclair ended up just buying them outright. And Sinclair, to me, doesn't seem like they give a damn about the company. You run 40% of cable network television, right? These guys are getting 1 a.m. slots here in New England. They're getting like random Friday slots in some places, but they're always late night. It's like, if I'm not up watching SNL, I wouldn't even know Ring of Honor was on right after SNL.
I mean, thank God for DVR, right?
For real. Like, if it wasn't for Overrun, I wouldn't even know when Ring of Honor came on. It's like, how are you running 40% of cable companies and you guys aren't anywhere to be seen? But I know Impact is on Twitch. I know AEW is on this channel. I know New Japan is coming to Roku. You know what I mean? But for some reason, Ring of Honor, it's just like, what are we doing here? You're wasting talent. You got so much talent down there, and nobody gets to see them.
They're like the unwanted stepchild at this moment.
For real. And I will always say this: from Ring of Honor from 2006 till 2013 was the best pro wrestling product out there. Period. Yep. I don't care if it was Impact. I don't care if it was WWE. They weren't touching the work rate of those guys during that period. Oh. So, but right now they're lost in the sauce. Why aren't you working with Impact? Why aren't you trying to holler at AEW? I would mark the fuck out if Gallows and Anderson in the ring, and then you got the Young Bucks in the ring, and then all of a sudden,
them boys
just show up. You know what I mean? Like, or even in WWE, I've been saying this forever. The Usos are literally the Briscoes. They stole the day one-ish is literally the day one promo by Jay Briscoe. It's literally like they're a carbon copy. That's a dream match for me. But Ring of Honor just doesn't want to work with anybody. I don't get it.
Tony Khan can buy out the management and do his promo commercials. Hey.
Yeah.
There we go.
Still the best thing on TV, on wrestling TV. Tony Khan's Impact commercials are the best.
He'll let you know, as a huge wrestling fan.
You know, Tony Khan is -1. He is.
Probably is.
They're the same person. You can't tell me different.
One's got a mask, one don't.
Yep. You never see him in the same place at the same time, except for that one time, which I don't think it was really him.
Hologram like Tupac.
That was another little kid. That's why you're always wearing a mask. You got a stunt double.
Oh, just for the sake, where is so-called Hornswoggle?
Wherever he wants to.
You mean the We Nominal one?
Yeah, the We Nominal one. What if he shows up and try to talk shit to -1?
Negative
They're
one's
roughly
training?
the same size.
We LC2.
Still a great match. If y'all don't believe me, go back and watch it. That was a great, great match.
Yep.
Drew McIntyre just said, screw it, I'm going to jump through a table.
All right. So we got anything else we want to put out there in the universe?
No.
Let's
Cool.
see.
Hi.
Titty meat.
Yeah. Titty meat.
Kitty meat.
We're gonna make some fantasy matches. We're gonna do that again.
We should do a fantasy booked pay-per-view one day.
I'm down for it.
What are we gonna use the cement? Are we gonna use Fire Pro? We're gonna use Wrestling Empire? Or are we gonna use WWE 2K19? Because we ain't gonna use 2020.
I only got 2K18, so
all right, 2K18.
But no, I mean, like I as much as I joke about wanting this like major pay-per-view, I would love to fantasy book a AAA, AEW, Impact, and New Japan show. I would love to see who can come up with a great card, or how would everybody book their shows? Like, I would love for one of us to do something like that.
And then I think we should maybe put a time frame on it as well between I don't know. We can probably hash some out or whatever, but we can, based on the talent that they have in these 4 companies right now, we book our own card given what we have, what we know now, and then whoever's closest to it whenever they do this event, I don't know, to get a high five or something. I don't know.
Chris, high five.
So yeah, high fives. But anyway, I think we done rambled enough. We're gonna go ahead and put a pin on it. Happy bowl day for whoever's celebrating. I'm just here for the commercials.
Cheese.
Cheese.
Yeah, I'm going for cheese too.
Cheese.
I need to see history, man. I'm going for the New England Bucks.
The New England.
I'm going for the New England Bucks, man. It's my boy. He ain't on my team no more, but god damn it, I want to see 7. I want to see 7.
That's how I felt about Anthony Davis. He left New Orleans after so many years, and he went and run him a ring. I was like, I can't feel bad about it because he wasn't gonna do it in New Orleans.
Oh, Brady and Gronk do it again. Come on, boys.
Well, anyway, but on behalf of myself and this lovely, illustrious panel of peoples here with me right now, that's it. We're gonna bid you all adieu, and whenever we do this shit again.